Hello everyone, has the stream started? Let me know if you guys can hear me okay in the chat box. But hello everyone, welcome back to my second YouTube video live stream. I am Flora, if any of you are first listeners, first watchers, and welcome to our live stream. I hope you've all had a really good week. Let me know what you've been up to in the comments. I can see that Aiden was here very early. Aiden says, hope to see you all in 27 hours. I liked how punctual you are, Aiden. Very good. And Hammy says, hi Flora, I'm really excited to see you on live on YouTube. What a lovely day. Hello, Hammy. Yes, lovely to see you on YouTube as well. And also Hammy says, I can hear you clearly, so thank you for letting me know. I always worry that you guys can't hear me, so I'm glad that you can. But yeah, I think I can't remember now, but I think Hammy lives in London, lives in the UK, and they are referring to what beautiful sunny weather we're having today. It's absolutely gorgeous. I woke up and I looked out the window and I was immediately in such a good mood. I really should move to a sunny country because beautiful weather, it just puts me in such a lovely mood. I actually even went out on a very quick, I only had time for about 5 minutes, but I went out for a very, very quick walk before I started teaching this morning. And it was just so lovely. So yeah, I hope all the viewers that are in the UK right now are enjoying the beautiful sunny day that we're having. And everyone in Korea, let me know, how's your day going? And how was your week? How was everything? Young Un says, hi Flora, nice to meet you. Hello Young Un, nice to meet you too. Welcome to the live stream. And Gayan says, hello Flora, thank God it's Friday. Hi Gayan, I hope you're well. Thank you for coming back. And yes, thank God it's Friday. I don't know about everyone else, but my week has absolutely flown by. It's gone really quickly. And I can't really even I can't even really remember what I was doing this week, to be honest. It's just flown by so quickly. So that's so nice. Hammy says that they don't live in the UK, they live in Korea, but my spirit is over there. How did you know that we were having such a nice day, Hammy? Are you watching the UK weather or are you just psychic? Sky says hi. Hi, Sky. Nice to meet you. Hello, hello, hello. All right. I think I'm going to give a few more minutes before I begin today's topic. I want to give a couple of minutes to let people come into the live stream if they're running a little bit late. That's totally fine. But yeah, so I guess just before we get started, how's everyone's week been? I was just saying that I couldn't really remember what I've been up to this week, but I remember that last weekend I binge watched a British TV series. I know that's what we were talking about last week. I binge watched a very popular series called Bridgerton. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. I don't know if it's popular in Korea or not, but if it is, let me know. What's your opinions? Because there was a lot of hype around Bridgerton. I was very slow to watch it. Loads and loads of people were telling me, like, a lot of my friends were telling me, like, oh, you need to watch it, it's amazing, it's this, it's that, it's like a really good drama to watch. And I was like, nah, not really sure about it. And then I binged watched it. So I want to know your opinions before I reveal my own. Young'un says, never predict London weather. Enjoy today. I guess Young'un is referring to the fact that British weather is very changeable, which means that 1 minute it will be sunny, the next minute it might rain, but I think it's going to be lovely all day today, and I plan to get out for another couple of walks. I think we're only meant to have one walk a day, but maybe I'll be a bit naughty and have two. Good. Gayan says, wow, amazing TV show. And Changmin Lee says, period drama. Yes, exactly. Gayan says, I haven't finished yet, but I'm in the early episodes, and as you said, my friends also recommended so much. Yeah, so this is talking about Bridgerton. I was a bit disappointed. I don't know, maybe I'm just a massive grumpy guts. But I wasn't that impressed. I wasn't that impressed with it, I have to say. Um, I think the acting was okay, especially because I know it's meant to be a cheesy show, and maybe I'm just being like snobby or not very fun, but I can't kind of get in with the cheesiness of it. I can't get on board. Um, but I know it's meant to be ridiculous, but I think it's just too ridiculous. I like the costumes. I think they're nice. I think the acting is actually pretty okay. I think the thing for me that I'm struggling with is the plot, because I can recognize a lot of other drama plots in there. Like it's really reminding me of Gossip Girl, which I really loved, and it's really reminding me of oh god, what other drama was it? It's reminded me of so many of these classic like teen dramas, and I don't know if that's meant to be on purpose or not. Like if they're meant to be parodying it or referencing it. I think they probably are parodying these dramas, but I find it boring. I've heard these stories before. I want new storylines. So I'm not the biggest fan of Bridgerton, unfortunately. That being said, I probably will finish the whole series. So who's laughing? Probably the people that made Bridgerton, because they're very rich. Aiden says, sorry for being late. No worries, Aiden. Welcome to the live stream. We haven't started today's topic yet because we were waiting for you. Just you. No, we were waiting for other people as well. So I guess this is a good time to get started. I'm trying to think if there's any other updates from the UK before we begin. Oh, there is one update from the UK that's kind of interesting. They announced the lockdown easing, how the UK is going to come out of lockdown. And it's very, very slow, but I suppose that's sensible. I think in the past, the government have opened up way too quickly, which just means that we've had to go back into lockdown again, which is obviously really frustrating because it's one thing to go into lockdown, but it's another thing to keep coming in and out of lockdowns. It's very tiring, and it just means that no one really wants to do the rules anymore because it just feels useless. So I'm kind of, on the one hand, glad they're taking it slower, but I also think they've made some promises that classically they've made some promises they might not be able to keep. They've said that everything should be open no earlier than the 21st of June, including like nightclubs. So everyone's like, yes, like Freedom Day, like set their iPhone calendars to the 21st of June as like Freedom Day. But I have a feeling that it probably won't happen. I don't know. I don't want to be the negative Nancy, but I have a feeling that it might take a little bit longer than June the 21st before we can go to like nightclubs and go to big events and it not be a problem. But I am hopeful that it's going to get a lot better from here. I think it's getting better. Touch wood. Touch wood, it's going to get better and not worse, I think. Hopefully. Hammy says, Duke of Hastings is so hot, but the plot was so misogynistic, lol. I agree, Hammy. Hastings is very, very handsome. He's a very, very handsome man. So this is talking about Bridgerton. There's definitely eye candy in the TV show, for sure. But yeah, I guess the plot is misogynistic. I don't think the plot necessarily is misogynistic, but it's representing a period of time that was deeply misogynistic. So misogyny definitely features, but I think that the plot in and of itself isn't misogynistic. It's just that it's reflecting a misogynistic time. I think that's the case. And Hammy has just added that that's why I really like the character Eloise. I agree. I think Eloise is my favourite character. I think she's the one that I find the least annoying. um, and I think because they include characters like Eloise, that means the plot isn't itself misogynistic because it's kind of got that character in it. For those of you who haven't watched Bridgerton, it's a period drama all about love and women just trying to find husbands because that's what they had to do to survive. But there's one character, Eloise, who doesn't want to get married. She wants to go to university. So she's like the little feminist in the show, which I do appreciate and enjoy. But yes, all right, I think it's time that we get started talking about today's topic, which, by popular demand, voted by all of you guys. And I forgot to say thank you to everyone who voted in the poll last week. That was very helpful for me and enjoyable. And it's nice to have interaction with you guys and to make sure that I'm doing topics that you find interesting, because otherwise I will probably just talk about philosophy or something of that kind, which might not be very interesting for everyone. So I'm going to do another poll after today's live stream, and I'll be very grateful if you can also vote in that as well. So yeah, thank you to everyone that voted in the poll. And the topic you've all chosen is travel in the UK. So without further ado, let's get started. So who has been to the UK? Let me know in the comments when you came to the UK. Where did you visit? Do you live in the UK? If you did go on holiday here, did you enjoy it? I want to hear about all of it. So please, in the chat section now, let me know everything about any time you've spent in the UK and where you went and what you thought. In a moment, I'm going to take you through my top 3 recommendations, or maybe I'll do that first. I actually think I'm going to do this first. So I've prepared a little presentation. I'm very excited about this. So whilst I'm telling you about my top 3 places to visit in the UK, I want you to chat in the box and tell me about any time that you've been to the UK. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time to write in the chat window. So I hope that's clear. So the places I've chosen for my presentation, or the top 3 places I've chosen you should visit in the UK, I have purposefully decided to go with places that are outside of London, because I feel like whilst London is a great city, I lived there for for about 6 or 7 months. And I had a really, really good time. I really love the city. I think there's loads to see and do. I just think that everyone knows about London, so it'll be more exciting for me to introduce to you 3 other places that you could come and visit if you came to the UK. So I'm trying to zoom in on my thing right now and it's not working. Annoying. There we go. Okay, so the first place that I think you should visit in the UK is, here are some pictures, the Lake District. So the Lake District is an area in the northwest of the UK, and it's an area that has lots of beautiful nature, especially lots of lakes, hence the name. So it's in the county of Cumbria, which, yeah, is, as I've just said, is in the northwest, and it's actually where my family come from. So one of my grandparents currently lives there, near the Lake District, and another one of I think an email just popped through, so you probably saw my emails, so sorry about that. But another one of my grandparents grew up in Cumbria near the Lake District, so it's got very sentimental memories for me of being a kid and coming up to visit my grandparents, and we'd go on lots of lovely country walks, and then you can go to loads of like cozy pubs, and it's just beautiful. It's actually a national park, one of the national parks in the UK, And yeah, I just think it's one of the best places you could visit. And it's, I think, the nature we have in the UK is really beautiful and not often celebrated. So yeah, that is my first place. Also, the benefit of the Lake District is you can get into like, I think it's quite mountainous, like the hill. I don't think there are any, I don't know if there's strictly any mountains. There might be, I'm not sure. But it's quite wild natural beauty in the Lake District, but it's quite accessible at the same time. So you can access it very easily by car. That's the best way to get there. Or even by train as well. You can get, I'm not sure the names of the stations, but you can get the train to the Lake District quite easily. So that's very handy, especially for me because I don't drive. So I always find that super useful. So the second place that I'm going to recommend is Edinburgh. So Edinburgh is the capital city of Scotland. So it's within the UK, but it's a different country. I've been there only once when I went to a university open day. And I loved it. I loved the city. I was just there for a few days, but it left a really big impression on me. It's very hilly, which is something I really love. I love being able to like climb to the top of a hill of a place and look out at the scenery. I think that's really important. So yeah, Edinburgh is my next choice. It also has every August in normal times, not in Corona times, but in normal times, it has something called the Edinburgh Fringe, which is a like, what is it? It's like a artistic festival where there's loads of plays and comedy acts and all this kind of stuff on every August, and that's always really fun. I'm just checking the live stream still working. It is good. So yeah, every August it'll have a week where it's got loads of artistic events on across the whole city, and the whole city kind of comes to life. I've never been fortunate enough to go, but I have some friends that live in Edinburgh now. They've recently moved, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that the Edinburgh Festival will be on this year and that I can go and visit because I've always wanted to go. In fact, when I visited Edinburgh, we got there the last day of the festival. But so we did catch one event of the festival, and it was this fireworks show where basically there's a castle. I don't think you can see it, unfortunately, in any of the pictures I've chosen, but there's this big Edinburgh castle that you can go visit, and they had a huge fireworks display around the castle, and it was set to classical music. So the fireworks were going off in time with the music, and it was amazing. It's one of the best like shows I've ever seen, especially because it was free because we were just standing in the street and we didn't know what was happening. Me and my mum were just going to get some dinner, and then suddenly there was this like amazing fireworks show going on, and it was like really a really memorable moment. So yeah, couldn't recommend Edinburgh enough. And also Scottish people are very lovely and friendly and fun, although I'm biased because my granny is Scottish. So and so the last place I'm recommending is Cornwall. So this is like if you want a beachy holiday, which I know the UK, you don't think beach holiday, but the beaches in Cornwall are absolutely beautiful, and the water is honestly like a Mediterranean sea. So as you can see in this picture here, with the top biggest, can you see my cursor? I don't think you can, but in the largest picture on the screen, the water in that photo is just such a lovely, beautiful shade of blue, and you can see that there's a white sandy beach as well. So Cornwall has the best beaches in the UK, in my opinion, hands down. And it's also a really popular destination for surfing, as you can see in the kind of Polaroid picture that I've put here. So if you want to come to the UK and do water sports, Cornwall 100% is the place to go. And I really hope to visit Cornwall this year as well. I think I'll probably be doing a holiday within the UK this year, because I'm not sure about travelling abroad will be accessible just yet with the virus. We'll see. But I definitely want to make it to Cornwall. And lots of my friends went there this year as well and had a really good time. Oh, another great thing about Cornwall, last thing, is that there's also loads of very interesting like old villages. I think they've kept their like roots. They're like, I don't know how to put this, but they're very in touch with their history in Cornwall, I think, and their ancestry. And so that's also very interesting to learn about. And there's lots of like old villages and stuff. Only downside of Cornwall is that compared to the Lake District in Edinburgh, it's not very easy to get to. It's quite inaccessible. You'll definitely need a car, or you can get the train from London, for example, but it will take quite a long time. So it is quite far out because it's like right down in the southwest of England, but definitely worth the journey. So yeah, those are my top 3 places to visit in the UK. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Thank you for watching my presentation. Yeah, okay, so wow, so many comments in the chat box. So Sky asks, where is a great museum in the UK? That's a really good question. There's loads, there's absolutely tons. So I think the best museums in the UK will arguably be in London, obviously. There is the British Museum, which I've been to once, which has on display lots of artifacts. Although there's kind of a moral question with the British Museum, because a lot of the stuff that's in the British Museum was taken during the colonial rule of the UK in different countries. So it's essentially stolen, some people might say. I might say. But yes, and some countries have asked for those artifacts back. But that being said, they're still very interesting to go and look at. But yeah, there is a bit of a sensitive political debate around the British Museum due to our colonial history. Another good museum to go to in the UK, my favourite is the Tate. One of the Tate Modern, which is a modern art museum. That's always got really interesting exhibitions on, so that's worth a visit as well. My favourite, so that's a gallery. So my favourite gallery is probably the Tate Modern, and then my favourite museum, is probably in Manchester, which is a city I lived in for university in the north of England. And there's the Manchester People's History Museum, which I love. It's great because usually museums can be kind of more about like the upper classes and be quite stuffy, such as the British Museum. But the People's History Museum is a museum about local history of the people. So yeah, those are some good museums for you, Sky. Young Ewan says, 2 years ago I went to Scotland and London. Ah, nice. So did you go to Edinburgh? What did you think of it? Aidan says, it's really good that you decided to choose places out of London. Thank you, Aidan. I agree. There's way more to the UK than London. I think that people can forget that sometimes. And everyone is enjoying the visual. Everyone enjoyed the visuals, I see. So that's really good. Thanks, guys. Hammy says, wow, I really like the visual references. And everyone, yeah, I'm glad that you enjoyed the pictures. That's good. Sky says, beautiful lakes. Aidan says, Lake District National Park near Yorkshire. Kind of near Yorkshire. So basically, you have, if this is the east and this is the west of England, you've got, and this is north, you've got Yorkshire here, and then the Lake District is like up that way. So it's quite near. Aidan says, Wikipedia says that Edinburgh Fringe Festival is the world's largest arts festival, which in 2018 spanned 25 days and featured more than 55,000 performances of 3,058 different shows in 317 venues. Whoa, thank you for bringing the facts, Aidan, very helpful. And yeah, the Edinburgh Fringe is absolutely huge. It's such like a great event and I really, really want to go see it. Aidan also adds, Cornwall is celebrated for many reasons. The gorgeous coastline, the incredible ales, yes, I forgot about that, and the locally produced foods and the welcoming feeling when you arrive. Have you been to Cornwall, Aidan? It sounds like you're a big fan. Yeah, there's also another very famous thing about Cornwall is a Cornish pasty, which I'm actually really, it's almost lunchtime in England, so now I'm feeling really hungry thinking about the ales and the pasties. But yeah, Cornwall's got beautiful countryside and yeah, as I was saying, very strong kind of local culture that you can go and immerse yourself in. Cornwall is quite different actually to the rest of the UK. It's very distinct. In fact, this is a bit of ancient history, but in the past, the UK has always been split up into different sections, and Cornwall has kind of remained like its own section, its own like area for a lot of history. And as a result, their kind of culture and traditions are very specific to that region. So it's actually a really interesting place to go and visit in terms of British history and British culture as well, because it is super different to the rest of, super different might be an exaggeration. It's different to other areas of the UK and quite distinct. Sky says, is the Manchester Museum near the university? So it's the People's History Museum, making sure I get that correct. And it's not near the university, it's near Salford, I think. It's just before you cross the canal in Manchester to get into Salford. It's quite near the centre. You can get a tram into central Manchester and walk from there to the museum quite easily. If you've been to Manchester, that will make sense. And Chang Min Lee says, I've seen the Royal Military Tattoo more than 10 years ago. What is the Royal Military Tattoo? Let me know in the chat. I have no idea what that is, but I'm very intrigued. And Sia Wu says, hello. Hello, Sia Wu. Welcome. If you've just arrived to the live stream, we are talking about places to travel in the UK, and I've just shown some pictures and talked about my top 3. But now it's time, I think, to move on to the vocabulary of today's live stream before we end with our mini quiz. So I'm going to take you through, I think I'm going to start with some idioms. So I'm going to take you through some idioms that you can use when traveling or to describe any of your travels to some native speakers in the UK. And first of all, I want you to guess what it's an idiom / expression. I want you to guess what it means, and then I will reveal it. And also, if you want to give it a go using it in a sentence in the chat, I will read it out. Aidan says, yeah, it's time to get new vocab. It is. Good. I like the enthusiasm. Okay, so the first idiom is to catch the sun. So what do we think that means, to catch the sun? I can use it in an example sentence to help you out. I catch the sun a lot. So you might say, when I went on holiday to Spain, I caught the sun. Or like, oh dear, you look like you've caught the sun a bit on your pink face. That's a bit of a clue. So what do we think that means? Chang Min has answered my earlier question. They've said that the Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo is an annual series of military tattoos performed by British Armed Forces and international military bands, an artistic performance teams in the capital of Scotland. Well, that sounds very interesting. I'm still not really sure what it means by tattoo, because I think of like the tattoo on your skin, but that sounds like quite the spectacle. Thank you for letting me know, Chang Min. Okay, so we have some answers to what to catch the sun means. Guyun, you've got it right. Chan Min, Sky. Anyone else want to give it a guess before I reveal? Okay, so the correct answer is to get sunburnt. So yeah, if you've caught the sun, it means that your skin is looking, could be tanned, but more often it means like a bit red or pink because you've got sunburnt, which when I travel abroad is something that happens quite a lot because I'm very pale. Although that being said, it's probably very rare to catch the sun in the UK. Good. Okay, are we ready for the next one? So the next idiom is off the beaten track. So what does that mean? Off the beaten track. Any guesses in the comments? I'm going to take a sip of my water whilst I wait for you guys to answer. An example sentence could be, I chose that island as a vacation spot because I knew it was off the beaten track. So that gives you a little clue for what it could mean. Anyone? I'm going to give you 5 more seconds, 10 more seconds before I reveal the answer. So what do we think off the beaten track means? Aiden, yes, you've got it right. Sky's also got it right. Changmin, close but not quite. So off the beaten track is little known or remote. Or as Aiden said, in an isolated place. So yeah, Sky is also right. A place that is not often visited. And Guyan said wildland. And you're not wrong, Guyan. Somewhere that is off the beaten track is usually wild, but it more just means somewhere that's not visited very often. But good guesses. Well done, guys. Okay, next one is to live out of a suitcase. So what does that mean? To live out of a suitcase. For example, you might say, well, actually, for example, I stayed with lots of different friends over the summer and for different weeks. And that entire time I was living out of a suitcase. So what do you think it means? So, another way you could say is, my cousin has been living out of a suitcase for years. Her mother wishes she would settle down already. So I was living out of a suitcase. Also, you could say, because I lived in Spain, then the UK, and then Vietnam for quite short periods of time. So you could say that then I was also living out of a suitcase. So there's lots of examples. So what do you think it means? Aiden says to stay very briefly in numerous places. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's to not stay somewhere for very long. And therefore it means there's no point unpacking. So you just, when you go on holiday and you does anyone actually take their clothes out and put it in the drawer? Because I don't. I just am in my suitcase the whole week, kind of tearing things out and then putting them back in again. So it means that, to stay very briefly in lots of places so you don't unpack. Guyan says wandering life, and in a way, yes, but not strictly what it means. And Young Un has used a very good piece of vocabulary. It's not what living out of a suitcase means, but it's good. It's another good phrase. Wanderlust. And wanderlust means when you have a desire to travel and go places and to not settle down. It's a very nice phrase. So thank you, Young Un, for introducing it to the live stream. Okay. The final idiom for today, so the final new vocabulary I have for you, is to hit the road. So what does that mean? To hit the road. For example, we have to be there by 10 a.m, so we're hitting the road early tomorrow. Or I've been here long enough. It's time we hit the road. So what do we think it means? Sky's kind of right. Pretty good guess. Good job. Is anyone else going to do any other guesses? To hit the road. So what could it mean? Also, there's a very famous song, Hit the Road Jack. Kind of a soul song, I think. Changmin says, hurry up and rush. Not quite. So Sky says start, which is closer. Sun Hua Lee says, let's go. That's a really good guess. Yeah, well done. And Aiden says, go there. You're all pretty correct. Guyan's got it. And it means to leave. Like, let's get going. Let's start a journey. Let's go, basically. Yes, Xiao Wu says to leave a place, which is correct. Yeah, excellent. Well done, guys. Really good. Okay, right. So now it is time for the mini quiz. So if anyone has any questions before we start the mini quiz about any of the vocabulary we've just discussed, or anything I said earlier on in the live stream, please always just leave the question in the live chat box. So today's mini quiz, I'm going to take us back onto the presentation, so bear with, whilst I'm sorting out my different tabs. So, we're back on here, and me trying to, no, wrong way. Technology, guys. So annoying. Okay, here we go. Yay, mini quiz. It's still working. So today I have a trazzle. That's not a word. Today I have a travel phrasal verbs mini quiz. So there's going to be a sentence, there's going to be a blank, and you have to guess the which word goes in the blank. So you're going to have two options. Okay, so I'm going to show you the word. I'm going to give you a minute or maybe even just 30 seconds to let me know what word goes in the gap. Okay, are you guys ready? You ready for the quiz? Good. Okay, let's get started. So the first one is, oh, that's the second one. Number 1, I hope the plane will take blank on time. I hope the plane will take blank on time. So, what do we think this is? Youngun says I was born ready. Yes, that's the kind of fighting talk we like to hear. Good, okay. Lani's got it. Sky's got it. Jian's got it. Guyan's got it. Wow, you guys are so good. You're so clever. Well done. Excellent. Yes, so the correct answer is, drum roll, off. So I hope the plane will take off on time. Very good. Nice one, everyone. Excellent work. Okay, number 2. Are you coming with me to the airport to see me blank? Are you coming with me to the airport to see me blank? So which one is it? To see me away, to see me off. What do we think? Let me know in the chat. Oh, so we're getting multiple answers here. Aiden thinks it's off. Lani thinks it's off. Sky thinks it's away. Guyan says off. What do other people think? Youngun also off. So we're having, I'd say more people are leaning towards off. And yes, the correct answer is to see me off. But good, nice, well done. So that is a phrasal verb you can use when we're talking about saying goodbye to someone. We use the phrasal verb to see me off, or to see you off, to see blank off. So it's a separable phrasal verb that we use. Very good. Okay. Youngin asks, it means send off, right? And yeah, that's correct. It means like to say goodbye to someone when they're going to go on a journey. Usually at like a train station or an airport or those kinds of places. Good. Okay. Next one. I'm sorry I'm late. I was held blank in traffic. I'm sorry I'm late. I was held blank in traffic. So I was held on in traffic or I was held up in traffic. What do we think? So we've got lots of votes for up from Jian, Sky, Aiden, Siowu, Lani as well, Guyan. Wow, it's pretty much 100% for up. Good, yeah. And you guys are all correct. Well done. I was held up in traffic. Good job. Yeah. So to be held up for something is to be like stopped. So you could be like, oh, I don't mean to hold you up, which means I don't mean to delay you. So yeah, basically means to get delayed by something. Jenny and Yungen also got it. Well done, guys. Very good. Excellent. Okay. Next question. The police stopped him and pulled him blank because he was driving too fast. The police stopped him and pulled him blank because he was driving too fast. So what do we think? Pulled him over, pulled him up. Okay, we've got some votes coming in. Sky says it's over. Aiden says over. Jian, Son Game, Young-eun, Siwoo, Gaeun, Lani, all of them have said over and you are all correct. Well done. Maybe I'm making these quizzes too easy. I'm going to make them much harder next week. But yes, very good. So they pulled him over. To pull someone over is to is only used when talking about driving, and it's when you make someone stop their car at the side of the road. You pull them over. I think I haven't heard it being used in any other context apart from driving. So yeah, Siwoo says to stop the car, which is correct. Good. Nice, well done. Okay. Next one. What time are you setting blank tomorrow? What time are you setting blank tomorrow? Aiden says, we're all such geniuses. You are such geniuses, yes. I need to make these quizzes a lot more challenging because you're all too clever. But good, so which one is this? Do you set away or set off? Jiun says off. Changmin says off. Sioe, Gaeun, Sky, Sun Game. You've all got it. Congratulations, well done. Yes, it is to set off, which means to leave. So to set off for somewhere is to leave on your journey. It's to hit the road, if you will. So yeah, good. Sky says to set off equals start. It more that to set off means leave, because you're going away from one place to another. Good. Aiden says, I don't know this. Aiden, have you not heard to set off before? I am surprised, because you're very, very good at English. But yeah, there you go. Learning something new. To set off. All right. Next one. Maybe we'll do two more. So. Ooh, this one might be a bit more tough, I'm hoping. So. It took me an hour to go blank security at the airport. It took me an hour to go blank at security. What? No, I read that wrong, sorry. It took me an hour to go blank security at the airport. So, it took me an hour to go across security or to go through security. So we've got Jian, Lani, Aiden, Sun, Guyun, Yungen, SH. Ooh, you've not commented before. Hello, SH. Siwoo. Good. Sky's got it. Nice. Well done, guys. So the correct answer is through. To go through security. So we talk about going through things when it's like cutting through, like it's like a process. It's like going into it, into the middle. If you're going across something, it kind of means like over it in a way. So you can't go across security because you have to go into it, if my explanation is very clear. Aiden Kang says, always takes more than an hour at Heathrow. I've actually only been through security at Heathrow once when I flew to Vietnam, and I can't remember it taking that long. I think it took longer to queue up to board my flight. That took forever. Oh my goodness. I think my flight was really busy because I was going to, I had a stopover flight in China. And I think it was in one of like the bigger districts in China for travel. So it was quite busy. Yeah, that was annoying. But airport security often doesn't take that long, I don't find. Like I always leave loads of time and then it's quite empty. I don't know, maybe it's different now with COVID. Lani says, like a drive-through? Yes, exactly. So a drive-through, you think about it, you're going into it, aren't you? So you're driving through it. Good. Okay. Last one, and I'm going to go with this one. If you like, I can drive you into town and drop you blank at the station. If you like, I can drive you into town and drop you blank at the station. So drop you down at the station or drop you off at the station. What do we think? SH has said about airport security that in New York it takes more than 2 hours. Wow, I'm not surprised. I can imagine the security in New York airports to be very, very strict and have lots of different areas to go to, so that makes sense. Good. Okay, everyone's got it. Everyone's getting it. Well done, Lani. Well done, Sun. Well done, Guyun, Jian, Aiden, Siowoo, Young, Pip and Sky. Good job, everyone. Really, really good. Well done. It is to drop you off. Congratulations. Well done. You got it. Nice. So that concludes this week's mini quiz. Oh, I'm moving myself. Bear with me. I'm still getting used to the live stream technology. So yeah, do bear with me. But thank you guys so much for coming to today's stream and having a conversation with me and taking part in the chat. I really appreciate it. Had a really good time. So yeah, I hope that you all have a really good week. And as I said earlier, I will be putting another poll in the community page of the Britcent channel, of the English Britcent channel. So I'm going to go away and I'm going to think about what topics that we can talk about next week. And then I'll give you 3 options. And yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on what topic you want to talk about next week. So yeah, it was really lovely chatting with you guys. Youngen says, I've lost track of time talking with you. It was so nice chatting. Yes, I agree. The live streams go so quickly, don't they? Lani says, thank you. Sky says, thanks a million. Pip says, have a lovely day. Have a lovely day to you too, Pip. And Aiden says that he has to agree with Young about the time flying. Yes, me too. Okay, so I look forward to talking to you guys at the same time, same place next week. And I hope you have a brilliant week ahead. All right, see you guys next time. Bye.